like your friends or just intimate them to join. We'll start in like few minutes. And like your friends or just intimate them to join. We'll start in like few minutes. And like your friends or just intimate them to join. We'll start in like few minutes. Can you all hear me well? Am I audible? Like, is my voice clear and you can understand me? Right?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you for the response. So, yeah, about this project, we have three projects. And before going to discuss about them, first of all, let me introduce myself. I am Pujita and I have 6+ years of experience in Java full stack web development. Right now, I'm working in an MNC, and also apart from working as a full stack developer, I do have an experience of 6 years of teaching experience in programming. My skills are Java, J2EE, Spring Boot, microservices, Angular, and programming languages, other programming languages like Python, C, C Sharp, and DevOps and AWS Cloud. So, yeah, about this course, the complete duration of this course is 60 days, 1 hour every day, like 8 to 9 or 8 to 9:30. And prerequisites for this course include core Java, Spring Boot, SQL. These come under prerequisites. It's fine even if you don't know about them. We are going to cover everything. Like we are going to begin from the scratch and do till the full stack development. So it's fine. And we have three projects during this course. During the duration of 60 days, we will complete three projects from basic Java concepts to complete end-to-end full stack application. And in this course, we'll have hands-on installation of tools. Like you are going to install tools on your machine along with me, and you are going to do hands-on practice of coding. You are going to do project hands-on coding, everything. Whatever I do in this course, along with me, you are going to do. You are going to practice. You are going to complete these three projects. You will get to experience with all the real-time tools like that may be IDs like Eclipse, VS Code, and then Postman, GitHub, Maven, everything. You will get to experience with all these tools. And at the end of this course, you will also have a mock interview sessions. Like you will be prepared for the interviews for particular companies, and then yeah. So yeah, at the end of the session, we'll have a Q&A session at the like in last 20 or 10 minutes, where you can ask whatever doubts you have regarding the course, regarding the projects, anything you can ask in the last 10 minutes. Okay. So the main aim, whatever we have today, the course of this aim of this course is like to make you an independent programmer, where you can create your own applications so that you can ace any interview confidently, right? So because by the end of this course you will be familiar with all the real-time tools and technologies so that you can be an independent programmer. That is the aim of this course. That is what we practice for. That is what we learn this course for. Okay. So yeah. So let's move on to the course content. What it is going to cover. What are the three projects? About three projects. Uh, yeah. So the name of the first project is building an email system. As the name suggests, we will create email address for any user and implement some functionalities related to it. This is the first project. So the technologies we are going to cover in it are basic Java and OOPS concepts. These are the two concepts we are going to cover in this project one. The tools we are going to use for this project one are Eclipse IDE and Git. If we are like going to push our code at the end of the project, everything is pushed to GitHub. So for that we'll use Git. These are the two tools we are going to use for project one. Prerequisites for this project are Java and OOPS, basic Java. It's fine, like if you don't know about even basic Java, it's fine because before starting the project or before coding, every concept will be covered by me. Every concept in the sense everything from the basic topics like creating a class, creating an object, initializing the values using constructor. Everything will be covered before uh, going to code in that topic. So you don't have to worry about knowing something or not knowing. Okay, everything will be covered beforehand. And reason why we included such basic concepts in this course is for anyone the foundation or basic programming skills are very important because whenever you enter into a organization or whenever you enter into some production, you will get some business requirements to solve, right? Whenever you enter a company, let's say they give something for you to implement, some business requirement for you to implement, a functionality, a feature for you to implement. Then you need to code yourself. You need to understand that in a programming manner. Whenever they say a particular requirement, you need to view that in a programming environment. You need to code yourself. So whatever the requirement they give, it will ultimately translate into code. Like you will ultimately implement that using Java classes and methods, which is the basic thing. So whenever you are good at basic stuff, you that will lead you to high paying jobs or even you can start your own business. It will help you to stand out from the crowd. Let me show you an example how this business requirement. Okay, so let's say you get a business requirement. You can see my screen, right? So let's say there is a business requirement. You all know about Amazon, Flipkart, right? So there is a functionality of adding all the favorite products somewhere. So that is a business requirement given by the given by client to you. That is what you have to implement. So that is wish list. You all know about it, right? So what this wish list do? This will add all the products. Even if you are not going to buy, or even if you are going to buy, it will add all your favorite products somewhere. It will store all your favorite products somewhere. So that is the feature, that is the business requirement. You should view it in a programming manner. You should view it in like how do I solve this? How do I implement this? So for this, like let's say you create a class, and then inside the class, are you going to implement a method? Let's say this is the class. You're going to implement a method where it will take the item which should be added to the wish list, and then it will update the wish list. Update this wish list. So whenever I say wish list, whenever I say add this product to wish list, it will go to this class, it will implement this method, and it will update the wish list in back. Some products will be added. Let's say two products will be added. So this is how, this is a business requirement, and this is the class or method you are going to implement. So everything is ultimately translated into the basic classes, methods, objects. So you need to understand this thing. Every time you got a requirement, uh, you should see in using basic stuff how you are going to implement it. So when you are good at basics, you can solve them easily, right? Uh, I hope uh, what I'm talking is making sense, right? If you think you're confused, or if you think I'm being fast, or if you want me to repeat something, you can just unmute yourself, talk about, or else if you want to talk about something also is fine, because this is an interactive session, and I hope someone will reply me back. You can understand me, right? Anyone? Uh, if you have, yeah,
Yes, yes.
yeah. Thanks. Thank you so much. So if you think something I mean, you missed also is fine. I can explain, even not even in demo session, like in every session. Like if you think you missed something, you can just ask me. I'll repeat it. Okay.
Okay.
So yeah, as I told, why this project is important, why this project is included in this uh, course is like to have a strong foundation skills. That is why we included this basic concepts in this project. We are not directly going to solve that full stack project directly. We are not going to directly jump into it. We'll start from the scratch. Whenever you are comfortable, whenever you are good with this basic programming, we'll move on to next step. Step by step, we are going to implement it. We are going to our end goal. What is our end goal? Our end goal is to develop a full stack end-to-end application. For it, whatever the necessary technologies we need, we are going to practice them first. One of them is basic Java. So that is our first project. And then, as I said, everything like how to create a class, access modifiers, and how they'll help us in different scenarios, and also packaging your project. Because see, you will use Eclipse IDE for this, and for every concept like creating a method or using access modifiers, exception handling, for every topic you're going to solve, or I will explain you with a code snippet or with a short example. So what happens whenever you use your IDE more, you will get comfortable with it, right? And whenever you are comfortable with it, what happens? You will get used to it, and you don't feel any more newness using your IDE. Like when days go on, practice, you will practice, and then what happens? It will be easy for you. That is because, see, let's say first time you write a main method. You all know, maybe at least some of you may know. about the main method in Java, public static void main, right? Whenever you create a class, you need to write this method. So uh, every time you create a class, you have to write a main method. So let's say for every concept, you create a class one, class two, class three, like that. For exception handling, you create a class. For find handling, you create a class. To practice modifiers, access modifiers, you create a class like that. So for every class, you have to write a main method. So what happens by the end of the like all the topics, you will be able to write this main method on your own without you just not there is no need to stop and think about it. But then, like fourth time when you are trying to write this, automatically you can able to write it on your own. First time maybe like you have to write okay public static void main like that. You will have to understand each and every term for the first time. But when you keep on writing it, keep on practicing, keep on coding, it will be easier for you. So that is how we are going to make you comfortable with the programming. So yeah, this is what we are going to cover in project 1. Also, apart from all the topics that are included in the project, not only the only those topics, we are going to cover additional topics too. If there is something important, additional topics that is not covered in the project, that is also be explained at the end of the project. See, there are several concepts in Java, and it is not possible to include every concept in a single project. We we try our best to include everything in the project, and there are some concepts uh, that are like the next part of this project that are also explained at the end of the project. So that is the one additional benefit you all get. We'll focus on every important concept that is going to help you in your future company or organization. We are going to cover everything here itself. So project 1, you will get what is it? You will get many benefits. Let's say uh, you will get an in-depth knowledge of Java by the end of the first project. This is what you are going to get. And apart from this, sorry, give me a second. And also you will get hands-on experience of coding, hands-on experience, and you will be familiarized with Java, Eclipse IDE, right? Because you are going to use it many times. And uh, you will you will know the structure of project, like how the basic project structure is, how this packaging happens. Like everything is packaged, the complete project, all the classes will be packaged in the sense they will all be kept in a single folder, let's say. So how is the structure? You will get to know the structure by the end of this project. This is the basic things. These are all the basic things we are going to cover in project 1. So, and also the flow of the project, how the project actually executes, how whenever you execute a class, how it is going to execute. What is the flow? Flow in the sense, whenever I say flow, let's say when you write a class first. So whenever you execute this class A, let's say, you run this class. So next what happens is it will search for the main method. So after this main method, it will go to the object, because that is where you call the methods. Using object, you call the methods, or you initialize a constructor, and then after that, our whatever the methods we write. As I said, the requirement, the main functionality of class that is will be executed. So this is the flow. So you will understand every flow of everything by the end of this project 1. Okay, so yeah, so these are the things you are going to learn at the end of the project as I explained. And let's move on to project 2. So before moving on to project 2, I hope you understand everything that is covered in project 1, that is going to be covered in project 1. Do you have any doubts in project 1, or can I move on to project 2? If you have doubts or if you think you didn't understand something, just tell me. Someone just please unmute yourself and just answer me if you completely okay with project 1. I'm waiting for your response. It will be good if someone will kindly reply me back. Uh, have you understand the project 1 and what are the concepts it is going to cover and what are the benefits you will get at the end of the project and why it is included in this course? You understand everything? Just tell me okay, then I can move on to next project. Or at least raise your hand. Okay, yeah, thanks. That's nice. Thanks. Okay, so let me move on to project 2. Name of this project is Digital Library System. So, Digital Library System, the name suggests you already know. We are going to build an online application to monitor books, add them, update them, or search for a suitable one, issue it, return it, all the functionalities we are going to implement as an application that is called Digital Library System. So, in here, technologies we are going to include in this are um, project 2. So technologies we are going to cover in this are core Java, JDBC, MySQL, JSP, HTML, CSS, and Bootstrap. Uh, it may seem a lot, but every topic is just like a very easy one, right? If you know about HTML, then you will understand CSS and Bootstrap too, because every topic is like very easy. It is like a single topic, and it is very important. That is why we included everything in a single project. Yeah, tools required for this are Eclipse, IDE need, and you need you need to install MySQL. Okay. So you don't have to, whenever I say you need to install MySQL, that doesn't mean you need to install it by yourself. I'll be guiding you throughout the process, from the downloading to using it, everything. Even if you get if like suppose we are always talking about the good part. Sometimes we'll face errors. Sometimes our program doesn't work as we think. It shows some errors. So even at that times, I'll help you debug your code. Whenever you say, "Ma'am, I am like facing an issue like this," we will like even if I get an error, I'll show you how to debug this, how to approach while debugging, how to approach an error, how do you solve it. So even those scenarios will also be explained in this while coding. So hands-on in the sense everything will be covered, not only the good part, even when you get an error, even that will be also be discussed. So whenever say I I may face some kind of error, you may get a different error. So whenever we share these things, when other person, let's say when a third person get the same error, he will be able to solve on his own, right? When I say so, different kind of when we discuss different kinds of errors and different kinds of approaches, it will be useful whenever the other person face the same issue. So everything will be discussed. That is what I'm going to say. And prerequisites for this are uh, yeah, servlets. These terms may servlets in the sense core Java. These terms mean may seem new to you. It's fine, even if you don't know. It's like an added advantage if you already know them. Anyway, I'm going to cover every topic with example before entering into the project and basic CRUD operations. I think many of you know about CRUD operations, right? Anyone here know about CRUD operations? Like manipulating data in MySQL or Oracle, any database, like creating a table, adding data to the table. So, any one of you know about this CRUD operation? Any one of you? Just raise your hand. I'm not going to ask questions here. Just tell me. Yeah, okay. Someone raised their hand. Only one person know about this MySQL. I think there are so many people here. Okay, two. Okay, fine. Okay. So yeah. So basic CRUD operation. If you know about them, it will be an added advantage. Okay. So even if you don't know about them, just don't worry. We are going to cover everything. Okay. So yeah, and why we need to learn now? Again, the question comes. Before doing anything, we need to question ourselves, right? Why I need to learn this? Why I need to focus on this topic? So why you need to focus on this servlets, JSP, JDBCs? Because before dealing with any frameworks like Spring Boot, Struts, this is the foundation. This is the basic for that. Spring Boot is a framework for Java enterprise applications, right? So for that, these are the basics. If you know them, if you know these topics well, then you can enter into that Spring Boot concept easily, effortlessly, I can say. So with this project, I'll make sure that you build the foundation strong to handle any project in the company. That is our end goal for this project. That is to learn. See, now end of the project one, you will be strong with basic Java thing, right? So now we are moving on to next topic, that is the core Java, like advanced Java topic like servlets, JSP thing. So these will be covered in project two. By the end of the project two, you will be good with core Java and ready to enter into the full stack development because you are good with all the basic things. So by the end of the project two, you will be good with these things. Okay, and okay, and you will also, apart from this, you will also know how to write a basic web page using HTML, CSS, and using why JSP is used. See, JSP means Java Server Pages. It is like writing HTML forms separately, not separately. Using Java, how do you write a web page? And you will also know about request response architecture. So whenever I say request response architecture, let me give you an example. I talked about servlets, right? See, even if this word is new to you, it's fine. I'm just uh, like talking about what this project is going to cover. So let's say you are registering for an event or you are registering for a codeathon. There are so many hackathons going on right now, right? So one of them you are registering in a web page in a hackathon, let's say. So you are registering for this. So you will fill the form, right? Which includes your details, your resume, your experience, or all the details of yourself. You will fill it in a form. And whenever you click submit, what happens? All the details that are filled in this form will be reached to the application. Let's say you write an application, let's say you are conducting a hackathon, you people are conducting a hackathon on your own. You want to collect the data from the users. So what you will write a web page using HTML, let's say for now. You know all HTML, how to write forms. There are forms in HTML, right? So using HTML, you write a basic web page, single page application, let's say. So you will submit at the end whenever the user fills all the details. When they submit what, you will take all those values that are filled in the fields to your application. You need to store them in a database, right? You will take all the details and then you will store them in the database. So that is what you are going to do using. So how can you achieve this? So whenever I say how can you achieve this, servlets come to the rescue. Servlet, the basic uh, use of servlets is like they'll take the input values from the web page, process them, in the sense you write a program how to store in the database, and again how your this is a Java application. Here you write about you implement a servlet class. This is a predefined class. So you will collect the details, and then what you will do with that details, you will store them in the database, and again you will get a doubt how this Java application is connected to this database. Then here we comes JDBC, Java database connectivity. You will be explained that topic also. We will solve examples, we will get to know how to connect a Java application with the database. See, everything, for everything we will code. That is what. There is nothing, complex thing here. We will just code. So we will take the details from the web page and then we will store that in the database. We will take the details using servlets and store them using JDBC. And yeah, so that is the flow. This you will be like comfortable by the end of project two. So yeah. So this, see, whatever that is happening here, what is happening here? Applications are communicating between one another, right? This is communicating with this is communicating with this. So this is what we call as API, application interface. Application interface in the sense two two systems or two applications will communicate with each other. So and there comes Java API. Java API, JDBC is also an API because that helps us communicate, that helps us build communication between our Java application and the database. So API in the sense application interface, which will help us communicate between the two systems. So these are the topics that are going to be covered in project 2, which is a core Java next to the basic Java. Okay? Yeah. And also Tomcat server because see, as I said, request response architecture, right? So first you will send a request to fill the details, and whenever they click submit, you will get the response back. So how this request is sent and how the response is back, we'll write the methods for them. We'll implement the code. We'll implement those classes, predefined classes, and all those things. You will understand this structure by the end of the by the end of project 2. And for this we need a request response in the sense client server architecture only, nothing but. So in place of server we'll use Tomcat web server. That is also we covered in the project in detail. Creating a web application in the sense, as I said, creating a form and then extracting information from it. Apart from this, these topics are also, or like at the end of every project, as I said, how you can improve this, how you can improve the existing code, how you can improve the existing technologies, uh, the more like how you can make this more efficient. You will be introduced with new topics. See, we'll use this annotations Lombok to reduce the code repeatability. Like we repeat the same code many times. That is like somewhere it is happen, and then to improve it, we will introduce these two technologies, or let's say two topics. Why we are going to use them, because they have some added advantage than the existing concepts. So like that, if there is something that is more efficient or more which has more advantage than whatever we are using, that will also be covered at the end. Like how can we improve this more, or how can we make this uh, more, how can we make this work more efficiently, and that will also be covered at the end of each project. Okay, so this is what we are going to do in project 2, that is core Java, dealing with database, connecting this Java application with the web page and the database. So this is the flow. So this is the flow. The web application, the Java application, and then database. How the flow happens, how the request response, how data is being transferred. This is what we are going to implement in project 2. I hope I am clear, and I hope you are also clear with project 2. Is it? Uh, can I get a response back, or shall you want me to explain it again, or you want me? Okay, fine. Thank you so much. So yeah, and then I'm going to move to project 3, which is Employee Information System. The name of this project is Employee Information System, which is a full stack application. Full stack application. Before explaining about the project, let's discuss about what a full stack application is going to cover. Uh, let's say you are a full stack. There is a full stack application. This is a full stack application, and there are two parts for this. One is front end, another one is back end. Okay. So, so in front end, we need to know HTML, and then we need to know about CSS. We need to know about Bootstrap, and we need to know about JavaScript. We need to know about Angular. So these are the topics someone need to know to completely know about front end. And coming to the back end, core Java, Spring Boot, REST API, let's say. I mean, there are so many other concepts, but what we are going to cover, that is what I am talking about, Hibernate or JPL. So these are the topics. So now in project 3, let's say you are familiar with some topics by the completion of by the end of project 2, you will be good with HTML, CSS, Bootstrap, core Java, right? And some basics about Spring Boot. By the end of project 2, you will be familiarized with all these things. Now it will be easier to move on to the other things, that is Spring Boot, REST API, Hibernate. You will be guided, and you will be I mean, I'll make you practice everything though. So all the topics here, let's say Angular, JavaScript, and in backend you will know about Spring Boot, REST API, Hibernate. So all these topics are covered in, not only everything here is covered in project 3. So this is a full stack application, and front end and back end. So these are the topics we are going to cover in project 3. And tools, coming to the tools, let's say we need a Git because we are going to push our code every time, and we need Eclipse IDE, and we need VS Code for front end. Front end, like when you're writing, when you're using Angular framework, when you're writing your JavaScript code or HTML code, we'll use VS Code for it. And when you're writing, when you're using Spring Boot framework, when you're writing in Java, you'll use Eclipse IDE. and you need MySQL database. See, database is common everywhere. So yeah, these are the basic tools you are going to use for a full stack application. So you will be familiar with, and then Maven. So that is included in Git Eclipse, and you will be familiar with that too. Or like what is Maven? Why? I mean, necessity of it, the use of it. It is used to build the project. So yeah, these are the tools and these are the concepts we are going to cover in project 3. Now this is a full stack end-to-end application. So how the full stack end-to-end application is basically is there is a front page, any page. Uh, let's say let's say let's again take about Amazon website. You all know there are products displayed here. All the products are displayed. Let's say product 1, product 2, product 3, product 4. So this is the part where you see this is the front end implementation that is done using this technologies. That may be HTML, that may be JavaScript, that may be Bootstrap. So you will implement this front page using these technologies, and then you will write the backend part using these technologies, and that will be connected to the database. This is the backend, like how your process. As I said, whenever a customer selects a product, whenever the customer want to pay for something, you will write uh, logic for everything using backend. Only front end is like what the user can see. Like right now, whenever I open an Amazon website, whatever I can see, that is implemented using this front end technologies. And the back side, like when you click on something or when you add to cart, when you add one product to cart, what happens? That is everything, every functionality of what is shown on the web page is implemented in backend. So yeah, so the backend implementation and how the data is being manipulated in the database. So this is the end-to-end full stack application. And this after the development of this production, I mean this application, we'll use cloud like AWS or Azure, some cloud to deploy our application. So we will talk about that too at the end of the project 3. So like you will be completely comfortable with all the, let's say, like all the tools and technologies of a full stack web development. You are completely comfortable. So whenever you enter an organization and someone talk about something, let's say they say, yeah, we need to deploy our product, we need to deploy our application, you won't be terrified by hearing those words like what is cloud, what gonna see. You won't be terrified, you will be comfortable whenever they say yeah, VS Code, or whenever they talk about Eclipse. These are the tools they are going to use even in real time. So that is why we call them as real time tools. So whenever they talk about those things, you won't be terrified. You will be comfortable. Yeah, I know them. I practiced in them. So you will be comfortable. So you can able to answer the questions. So this is the structure of project 3. Uh, and everything that is needed. As I said, the tools are Git, Eclipse, VS Code, Angular. Everything will be installed and guided by me so that you can install in your systems and you can work parallelly with me. So whenever I code, you will be guided to code on yourself by yourself. I'll help you to code yourself. Okay. So, because by the end of project 2, you will be able to code on your own. You will be able to create the project on your own. You will be able to create a class on your own by the end of project 2. Now, when there is something new, I'll help you manage that whatever the issue you are facing. So technologies we talk, that is Java, Spring Boot microservices, Angular. These are the top technologies and tools we discussed. Eclipse, VS Code, and sorry, there is something other called Postman, which is used to send request and response. Just we talked about. request and response in the previous project to how the request and response is sent. So for to check that, uh, we'll use this tool called Postman. You will be familiarized when using that things. Whenever you heard new words, don't get like what it is. I never heard of it before. Everything will be okay when you are using that. Okay, and yeah, prerequisites include Spring Boot. We will start from the scratch. Don't worry about it. Um, and then coming to the, yeah, we'll cover every advanced topics. Let's say whenever I say I'll start with the scratch, I'll start with the scratch and Spring Boot. Every core topic, let's say inversion control, auto wiring, beans, every topic, every these basic topics are also covered before starting the project. Okay, I'll explain the concepts. We'll do some code snippets, uh, and then whenever we think, whenever every one of you think, yeah, I am comfortable with the topics of the project, then we will start moving on to the project. Okay, and now now you need to know why this project is included. By now you will able to understand why this project is included, because this is a full time, I mean real time full stack application, and we'll use a microservices architecture. That is because, oh, sorry, so whenever I say the word microservices, maybe some of you heard about it, or it's fine even if you don't know about it. Microservices in a sense, application, the entire application is divided into independent services. So let's say this is the entire application. This is divided into smaller services. I mean, every functionality is a service right now. We talked about the Amazon right now, right? So product is, now initially what, like in traditional programming, what they used to do is they used to put everything in a unit. They used to put everything in a single, let's say single folder for now. So they used to put everything together: product, payment, and then cart. Let's say, what are the other things that are there in Amazon website? What are the other things you can notice apart from payment, card, product? What are the other things? Can anyone tell me the other things you see on Amazon website page? Or Flipkart is also fine. Any e-commerce shopping website, what are the other things you will find? Just tell me. This is not a technical question. You can answer, right? I'll wait for your answer. What are the things you see whenever you open a web page, whenever you open a e-commerce website? That may be Amazon, Flipkart, someone. Just type it if you don't want to unmute yourself, or if you like to speak, yeah, you are welcome. You can speak. Things you notice when you open a e-commerce website. What are the things? Anyone? I'll be waiting for your response. Just tell me one more thing uh, you notice whenever you open a web page. Yeah, right. Home categories. Yeah, very good. And anyone else? Only one person. There are so many persons in this class. Only one person answered. Anyone else? And some people are not even responding. Are you even listening? At least raise your hand. Are you even listening? Or I'm going to ask, I'm going to pick a person and ask if they are listening or not. Just raise your hand if you are listening. Uh, Nobody is listening. Shall I call out a name and ask if you are listening or not? Just raise your hand if you are listening. I just ask a simple question. It is not even technical question. I mean, you frequently shop online, right? I just asked what you notice when you open a e-commerce website, right? Someone said home and categories. Yeah, categories. So like this, everything is divided into a single part, like a new application, like independent. This part is independent of this one. This part is independent of this one. So like this, every service is independent of the other. That is because if one service fails, uh, it does not impact other one. Previously, what happens? Everything is in a single unit, and if one service fails, everything will be everything used to like struck or is like everything is used to stop working. But right now there is a problem with payment. Only payment is that service is affected. Other services will be working fine. So this is what the microservices. This is what the advantage of microservices. And yeah, if you want to implement a new functionality in payment, you don't need to you don't need to affect other one. You don't need to edit or you don't need to manipulate the other services. You just need to edit this one, and that doesn't affect other services. They are working fine. And there are several other benefits of these microservices. When so many people try to access them, there is a thing called load balancing, like how you will balance when there is a heavy load from the users, how the requests are transmitted to different services using a gateway. So, uh, between between the application and the services, there is something called gateway, which will transfer the request to particular service. Like this, let's say this is our application, Amazon application, and there are several requests from the user at a time. When there is a big billion day sale or Amazon Great India sale, there are several requests coming from the user. At that time, what happens? There is a severe load on the server. So at that time, in microservices, we'll have a gateway between this, so which will transfer requests to particular service based on the user request. So this will help control the load. This will help balance the load. So not only this one, there are several other advantage which we are going to implement, we are going to discuss during the project implementation. So this is in full stack application. We are going to implement these microservices in the backend. Uh, Previously, it is called as monolithic application where everything is kept in a single thing. These microservices is now even used by every company, Netflix, Flipkart, everything these days is now using microservices architecture. So that is we are going to learn in project 3. So, and coming to the front end, we'll use Angular framework. Using JS, we'll write the front end pages. That is also explained in detail during the project execution. Okay, we discussed about the tools. This is the environment setup, that is Angular, Maven, Eclipse IDE, Node.js. Everything will be installed and we will set up at the end of project. At the beginning of project 3. And the added advantage is after we complete all the 3 projects, we won't leave you yeah, project, the course is completed, that's it. We won't leave you like that. We will make you prepare for the interview. We will take mock interviews, and we'll also have live coding sessions from you, not me. So you will be able to code on your own, and I'll guide you. You will be able to, you will be able to you will able to solve a business requirement on your own, and project explanation by yourself, like how you are going to approach it in a programming way, how you are going to approach a problem in the programming way. Everything will be analyzed, and let's say you have some drawbacks, then I'll inform you that you need to improve here, you need to improve your resume, you need to improve your communication skills, or you need to improve in this Java, in this topic particularly, you need to prepare in this topic. So everything, your drawbacks will be highlighted, and you will be guided in that topic by the after 3 projects are completed and mock interviews are taken. And then and one more important thing is resume, because that is the phase of what skills you have. That will show you whatever the skills you have. So we'll help you prepare a very good resume, which will highlight all the skills you learn, not only your previous skills. Everything you learn will be highlighted in in the resume, so you can apply to whatever the companies you wish. Yeah, everything will be like, even if you have some other doubts regarding applying a job, or how do I prepare for your interview, how do I answer this question, everything will be guided and answered. Nothing is left unanswered. Okay, so I hope I'm clear. The benefits you will get, I think you will already, I mean, after I discussed all these things, you will be familiarized. You will be able to develop a full stack application, like a real time application, the working application. You will be able to create it and deploy it on your own by the end of these three projects, because everything that is needed is discussed and practiced here, that is implemented here. So you will get an in-depth knowledge of full stack concept, because all the pieces we discuss the individual pieces, right? Java, basic Java, core Java, Spring Boot. We'll discuss about individual pieces. Now, we'll also explain how to connect them, how do you make a complete product out of it. So now you are familiar with, if you are familiar with independent concepts, as I said, basic concept you are familiar with, you can create your own applications too, and you will be expertised in the flow, end to end flow, how the project structure is there. In Spring Boot we have a project structure, how the structure is there, you will be familiar with that too. And you will be familiar with how to deploy code from your local machine to cloud, or how do you upload your push your code from your local machine to GitHub using Git. You will be familiar with all the tools and technologies. Yeah. And also, apart from all of this, you will get a great knowledge of resolving issues, because if you write 10 lines of code, you will get at least one error, right? So when by the end of three projects, you will face several errors. You will get a knowledge of solving many errors. So even in that, I mean, solving errors also, you will get a knowledge. And debugging, that is what we call debugging. So you will get a knowledge in that also. And coding, as I said, if you code three projects, automatically you will be able to code anything. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, thank you. Now I'm open for Q&A session. If you have doubts about something I discussed or anything else, you just can ask me. Yeah, you can type in the chat, or you can unmute yourself and ask if you have doubts regarding anything. And the course details and fees, everything is kept in chat window. You can see if you want to join, or if you have something else, you can take there is a WhatsApp number provided in the chat window. You can call or ping there. They'll answer your queries, and you can register for the course. And I forgot to tell you, sorry, the notes and the PPT or everything, and the video of the recorded session, everything will be provided to you to refer afterwards. So that is one more thing we are providing you. The material, notes, and the recorded session will be provided to you at the end of the day, or at the end of the course. You will, so that you can refer anytime. Okay, that is the thing. And anything else? I hope I covered everything. Just ask me if I missed something. I can. Difference between Java and core Java. See, and core Java is like a basic concept, like OOPS concepts. As I said, creating a class object, and then how do you encapsulate it, inheritance. All these concepts comes under Java. And core Java, in the sense, you deal with APIs, JDBC, servlets, like connecting your application with other things with database, and coming to front part you will connect your application with web page. Java in the sense your application is with yourself. Core Java in the sense you will deal with servlets. As I said, JDBC, you will connect your application to the database. You will receive requests from the web page and you will send response back. This comes under core Java. And anything else? Anything else? Anything is fine. You can ask. Hmm. I'm expecting some questions from you guys. Or you can ask any questions. If you like don't want to talk, you can just type it in the chat window. I can see it and answer it. Okay, fine. If you think you are clear with everything discussed here, and if you don't have any doubts, you can leave the session. Thanks for attending the demo. Thank you very much for listening to all the stuff, to all the things we are going to offer. Thank you so much. If you have doubts, if you don't want to ask me, you can also ping at the number given in the chat window. Note that number, save that number, and if you have some questions, also you can ask on that. If you are not willing to ask it here, yeah. If you don't have any more doubts or something, you can leave. Thanks, everyone. Thank you so much. Thank you.